Welcome you all in this lecture series program. Today we are going to talk about generativism. This topic is from the contents and introduction to linguistics semester 2, and this topic is very essential for the students of MA and BS linguistics. We are going to talk about definitions and explanations of the references today, and those references are taken from the recommended books. Number 1, Longman Dictionary of Language Teaching and Applied Linguistics. Number 2, The Study of Language by George Yule. And number 3, Language and Linguistics by John Lyons. These are very important and recommended books. So without a further go, let's get started on today's topic. This definition is taken from Longman Dictionary here today. Terms for a variety of linguistics theories that have the common goals. When we talk about generative theory, this term is actually used for the variety of linguistics theories. Those have the common goals. And those goals are: number 1, providing an account of formal properties of language, positing rules that specify how to form all the grammatical sentences of a language and no ungrammatical ones. So this is the number 1 definition. And when we talk about generative theory, this theory is used for a variety of other linguistics theories, and those theories always they talk about the grammatical structures of language and why and how and what are the properties of language basically. While number B, explaining why grammars have the properties they do and how children come to acquire them in such a short period of time. And number 2, the motive of learning this theory is why we study grammar and why there are properties of grammar and how actually children in a very short time they learn languages. Is there any relation between the properties of grammar and learning a language by human being or the children? So this is actually the motive of generative theory according to Longman Dictionary of Language Teaching and Applied Linguistics. The major version of generative theory, all associated with the pioneering work of the linguist Noam Chomsky. When we talk about generative theory, its pioneering work actually is related to Noam Chomsky that have influenced the fields of first and second language acquisition have been. And he influenced through so many other terminologies like we say transformational grammar, also transformational generative grammar, TG, or generative transformational grammar. So these are some of the other terminologies which are used instead of generative theory. तो यहाँ पे जब हम जनरेटिव थियरी की बात करते हैं अकॉर्डिंग टू लॉन्गमैन डिक्शनरी ऑफ लैंग्वेज टीचिंग एंड अप्लाई लिंग्विस्टिक्स, तो जनरेटिव थियरी के मुताबिक कि ये थियरी बहुत सारी दूसरी थियरीज के लिए इस्तेमाल होती है, जिसमें से नंबर 1 जो कि ऐसी थियरीज के ग्रामर के हवाले से बात करती हैं, लैंग्वेज के ग्रामर के हवाले से। और दूसरी बात ये कि अकॉर्डिंग टू दिस थियरी के लैंग्वेज ग्रामर की प्रॉपर्टीज़ होती हैं और बच्चे किस तरह से एक छोटे से टाइम में लैंग्वेज जो है वो सीख लेते हैं। तो यहाँ पे कोई रिलेशन जो है वो है ग्रामर या जो है वो जो बच्चे लैंग्वेज सीख रहे होते हैं उसके दरमियान में कोई रिलेशन है, या ये वर्क बेसिकली जो है वो नॉम चॉम्स्की की बहुत सारी जो थियरीज हैं उनसे जो है वो लिया गया है। So these are some of the ways of understanding from this Longman dictionary for generative theory. An early version of the theory that emphasized the relationships among sentences that can be seen as transforms are the transformations of each other. For example, the relationships among simple active declarative sentences. Now, when we talk about generative theory, we are talking about that it emphasizes about the sentences and how sentences they transform from one shape to other or from one type of sentence to other type of sentences. For example, the relationships between simple active sentence or active declarative sentence into other negative sentences. For example, an affirmative sentence, he went to the store, and the same sentence, if we transform it, it would be negative sentences. He didn't go to the store. And if we make it questions, did he go to the store? Such relationships can be accounted for by transformational rules. So these are some of the transformational rules of sentences. Here, when we talk about generative theory, its early version, it is actually related to transformational grammar as it is explained here. When we talk about generative theory from the study of language by George Yule, it refers to a particular approach to the study of syntax. So when we talk about generative theory, we are basically talking about the study of syntax, the study of sentence, how we make a sentence and what are the rules and principles of making sentence. A generative grammar of a language attempts to give a set of rules that will correctly form grammatical sentences. So here, generative grammar actually it attempts to give a set of rules of grammar so that we can have a perfect or an order of the language. It originates in the work of Noam Chomsky, beginning in the late 1950s, or studies grammar as a body of knowledge by language user. Chomsky has maintained that much of this knowledge is innate, implying that children need only learn certain procedural features of their native language. So when we talk about the study of Noam Chomsky and its beginning studies of 1950s or studies grammars, those are actually body of knowledge by the language users. So Chomsky has maintained that much of this knowledge is innate, and those knowledge is having just need a practice over it, and children accordingly they learn a language. So this is actually why we study generative theory, because we have been talking about a set of rules of language which are so related in learning a second language. यहाँ पे अगर हम जनरेटिव थियरी की उर्दू में बात करें, तो जनरेटिव थियरी बेसिकली सेंटेंस की स्टडी से रिलेटेड है, और बहुत सारे जो रूल्स हमें मिलते हैं कि सेंटेंसेस कैसे बनाए जाते हैं, टाइप्स ऑफ सेंटेंसेस कैसे बनते हैं, या नॉम चॉम्स्की का जो काम है 1950s का, कि लैंग्वेज ग्रामर्स जो है वो एक्चुअली हम जब बात कर रहे होते हैं तो ये एक नॉलेज है जो कि हम हासिल कर रहे होते हैं, और ये नॉलेज बुनियादी तौर पे पैदाइशी है इंसान के अंदर, और इंसान थोड़ा सा जो है इसके ऊपर एक प्रैक्टिस करके ये सारी चीज़ें हासिल कर रहा होता है या लैंग्वेज सीख रहा होता है. Here, when we are talking about when we have an effective rule such as a prepositional phrase, in English consists of a preposition followed by a noun phrase. We can imagine an extremely large number of English phrases that could be produced using this rule. In fact, the potential number is unlimited. This reflects another goal of syntactic analysis, which is to have a small and finite limited a set of rules that will be capable of producing a large and potentially infinite, unlimited number of well-formed structures. So here, a generative grammar is very effective when we talk about the formation or set of rules of a language. For example, prepositional phrase he talks about, or the writer of this book, The Study of Language, George Yule, he talks about that the principles, how we make prepositional phrases, these are actually according to the rules. And those, when we talk about those properties, those set of rules, we have been talking about the structure of language, basically how we are forming sentences. This is all about generative grammar. This small and finite set of rules is sometimes described as a generative grammar. So in a very simple or short way, we could explain. So when we talk about all these finite set of rules of language, we are talking about exactly generative grammar, because it can be used to generate or produce sentence structures and not just describe them. So when we talk about making a language, we are actually talking about how to generate or produce sentences in a language, not we are only describing them. This type of grammar should also be capable of revealing the basis of two other phenomena: how some is superficially different phrases and sentences are closely related, and second, how some superficially similar phrases and sentences are in fact different. So this type of grammar, it means generative grammar, is actually revealing a kind of phenomena, a certainly a true phase of the language, that how we form so many phrases which are related and so many phrases which are different. So these similarities and differences are actually when we talk about the set of rules of a language. Here we are going to talk about the study from Language and Linguistics by John Lyons. The term generative grammar, which was introduced into linguistics by Chomsky in the mid 1950s, is nowadays employed into rather different senses. So here, actually, Noam Chomsky talked about in 1950s. Right now, it has two different ways of understanding generative grammar. And number one, in its original narrower and more technical sense, when we talk about the narrow definition of generative grammar, it refers to sets of rules which define various kinds of language system. So number one is actually we talk about the rules of language system, are rules of a language which define language system. And number two, in its second broadened sense, for which we will use the term generativism, it refers to a whole body of theoretical and methodological assumptions about language structure. And in a broader sense, if we talk about generativism, it refers to the theoretical or methodological assumptions. So this is actually an assumption, a theory which talks about language structure. This is more important when we talk about that language is structure. Theory is about generative grammar. A generative grammar is set of rules. Again, we are repeating the same sentence here. A generative grammar is set of rules which, operating upon a finite vocabulary of units, generates a set, finite or infinite, of syntagms, each syntagm being composed of a finite number of units, and thereby defines each syntagm to be well formed in the language, that is characterized by the grammar. Generative grammars that are of interest to linguistics will also assign to each well-formed syntagm a structural description. So this is all about when we talk about generative grammar, we are talking about so many finite or infinite set of rules how to make sentences. The definition of generative grammar given here is more general in one respect than Chomsky's. It uses the term syntagm. Syntagm, when we talk about it, is all about the study of sentence. Where Chomsky would use a string or sequence. Chomsky, he defines syntagm as a string or sequence of a sentence. A syntagm, as we have seen, is a combination of grammatical units or phonology of elements which are not necessarily ordered sequentially. Though Chomsky defines sentences and phrases as structured strings, it is quite reasonable, and indeed it is in accord with traditional conceptions to think of them as syntagm. It is as sets of units brought together in a particular construction. So these all are when we talk about the syntagm, we are talking about the phrases study, we talk about the reasonable study for words and how we make sentences at all. Thanks for attention. Thank you very much. Hopefully this would have been very helping for all of you.